So you have to set your mind. You have to have a mindset that says, I'm going to be dedicated. I'm going to choose. I'm going to persevere. I'm going to double down regardless. And what that does is it develops a term called mental fortitude. Okay? What's up, team? Welcome back to Practice the Podcast, where we fuse research and culture to help you develop the mindset, habits, and skills you need in order to live out your purpose with confidence. I'm your host, Coach Rees, and it's time to get better, y'all. Let's grow.
We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Practices are meant to be competitive. They're meant to be competitive. If your practices aren't more competitive than the games themselves, you're doing the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. So the focus of this season, as we're in the new year, for those who are listening on track, but if you listen to it later, it is what it is. But the focus of this season is, how do we win in the new year? Like, I want to equip you right now with just the foundational, concepts, and then in the seasons to come, we're going to dive that much deeper into all of them. And so today we're focusing on mindset, okay? And mindset is everything. Next to emotional confidence, next to confidence, our mindset is our willingness to even want to dive into all those areas. Our mindset is our willingness and the standard we set, the belief we set for ourselves to even want to engage in developing our confidence and want to engage in developing our emotional confidence and our authenticity and our humility. Our mindset matters more than a whole lot of other things. And I'll tell you why our mindset matters is because our mindset is how we think. Our mindset is how we believe. Our mindset is why we think and believe and have and carry the attitudes that we do have. So your mindset is everything. And I love the term mindset because I'm setting my mind on something. And if you listen to the last episode 14, where we talked about the brain and the mind, and then our emotions and feelings and thoughts, and then our behavior, our mindset, right, matters, because our brain and our mind, if I set my mind on thinking, choosing, and believing a certain way, when I have certain emotions that rise up, I'm going to choose what I set my mind on. This is why discipline is a mindset, because if I set my mind on being disciplined, when the feeling that comes that I don't want to, because the feeling is going to arise because you're a human being who has emotions. So it's not that the feeling never comes, it's that when it does come, you already set your mind on saying, I'm sorry, I already committed. Sorry, I already committed. Sorry, feelings, I committed to being disciplined. Sorry, feelings, I'm dedicated. Right? Now what you're doing when you set your mind is you're giving your feelings and your emotions less room to guide you. When you set your mindset on being dedicated and committed and just about that and have that Mamba mentality is what we're talking about a little bit today, and even just that marathon mindset, right? When you set your mind on that, your feelings and your emotions don't get to dictate how you do and when you do. It's gonna happen. It's gonna rise up. Certain things are gonna occur, but when you set your mind on something, you're gonna follow through with it. But before we get started, y'all know how we do here. The quote of this episode is from my guy, Kobe Bryant. And he says, the essence of Mamba mentality is trying to be the best version of yourself. So if you're a hoop fan, you know Kobe. Mamba mentality was that's him. That's his thing, because he was the Black Mamba. And he has this mentality that, for me, is something that really helped mold me into being the woman I am today. And so when I talk about mindset, I can't not talk about the Mamba mentality. And when he talks about it, he's like, it's just it's a hunger, it's a desire, it's a thirst, it's a aching, I just want to be the best me. Now, I know for everybody, it's not that degree. It just is what it is. But trying to be the best version of yourself. I think that is the essence of reaching your potential. That's the essence of living out your purpose and being authentic, is just being in pursuit. But the thing is, the mindset of that is I'm setting my mind on every single day. I just want to be the best version of me. And because potential is something I am trying to achieve and reach and touch, It means tomorrow I can be better than I am today. And when I was in college, I just thought about this. I was in college. I used to say, my motto is, when people say, oh, what's your motto? My motto is, I want to be better today than I was yesterday. And I want to be better tomorrow than I am today. That was it for me. Like that quote right there drove me. I want to be better today than I was yesterday. And I want to be better tomorrow than I am today. And the reason why I say that is because I am obsessed with wanting just to be the best person that I can be holistically. So that means that marathon mindset of embracing every single emotion. That means embracing the Mamba mentality of striving to be my best self, because tomorrow I got to be better than I was today. That doesn't mean that rest doesn't happen and you don't just chill, all of that. But the essence and the core of who I am, I strive to be as good as I can be. And that also means embracing the difficulty. So I need a mindset that's going to help me endure those times. I need a mindset that's going to say, you know what, despite the feeling, despite the emotions that arise, I have to set my mind on being dedicated to this. I have to set my mind on growing in mental fortitude. Okay, so let's double back a little bit. You know, your girl be trying to go a little bit too fast. The song for this episode is gonna come from Another Gone Too Soon, Nipsey, featuring Kendrick Lamar. Dedication, hard work plus patience. The quote that I want to use from the song though is Nipsey goes, "How long should I stay dedicated? How long till opportunity meets preparation?" And that right there, that intersection of opportunity and preparation and like how long do I stay dedicated? Like how long till I get to see the opportunity that I've been preparing for? And when you mix in the Mamba mentality with the marathon mindset, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it, because somebody like myself who's so hungry to just life, like it gives me organic energy. And you go. The marathon mindset, the Mamba mentality is going to empower you to continue despite. And I think Nipsey and Kobe showed us in the way that they lived their life that staying dedicated, staying committed, being hungry to being your best self, like that's the best choice. So now we've got our culture hit. Where are we at when it comes to the research? The research on this is all about psychological well-being. And psychological well-being, again, is a healthy state of mind. The better or the healthier your psychological well-being is, depending on what you set it on, right, is the healthy state of mind. You want to be able to have a healthy state of mind. That's going to enable you to endure. That's going to give you fortitude. Psychological well-being is also your mindset. And again, your state of mind. Is it hopeful? Is it optimistic? Is it focused on your vision? Is it focused on your dream? Is it focused on staying dedicated? Or is it lacking hope? Is it lacking optimism? Is it a pessimist? Is it, no, I'm just a realist, but you're really a pessimist because you're hurt and you're angry? Like whatever your thoughts and your emotions that you're feeding into is going to drive your psychological well-being. Okay? So for story time, real quick, I want you to think about your life. I want you to think about all the opposition in your life. I want you to think about superhero stories, right? Where there's always going to be opposition. There's always going to be difficulty. There's always, think of almost any, rapper or athlete who's like, oh man, I got it out the mud. Like the mud is opposition. Like I want you to think of your life story of what battles did you face or what battles are you facing. That's opposition that is forcing you to develop that Mamba mentality. That's forcing you to develop that marathon mindset. That's forcing you to say, you know what? I'm going to stay dedicated despite. I'm going to keep going. I just want to be my best self, and I'm going to pour and fuel into my mind. Okay? So here we are. I want to go through this, and I want to give us hopefully some really good information that changes your life. A mindset is a set of beliefs. It's an attitude. How do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about yourself? What's your attitude on how you approach life, any area of life? Because the way that you think, this mindset that you have, the way you set your mind is going to dictate your actions and your behaviors. And it's going to impact your consistency, which impacts your confidence. So in order for you to go on this confident development, you have to be able to set your mind on it before you even reach it. Okay? Your mindset is how you choose to think. It really sets the standard for how you're going to choose to feel. Not how you feel, but how you choose to feel. Because those are different things. Again, our emotions and our feelings will arise. They happen, but you choose which ones you want to hold on to, okay? One way, there's some research out that talks about the difference from Carol Dweck, and she talks about fixed versus growth mindset. And a fixed mindset essentially says, nothing can change. It is what it is. I was born this way. And as far as like my knowledge and skills and abilities, my gifts, whatever, like I can't. Like, it's just, I got this talent and that's why I won. Or I'm not smart enough, so whatever, right? That's the fixed mindset. The growth mindset says, okay, cool. Even though I got this talent, I'm still going to work hard. The growth mindset says, I have the ability to be better. So the Mamba mentality and the marathon mindset are based on having a growth mindset. That's really the research here, right? The root behind this is a term, and we talked about it last episode, is neuroplasticity. So what that means is your brain has the ability to be malleable. It has the ability to grow and fix and elevate. There's a term that we use and it's called neurons that wire together, fire together. So the neurons in your brain that when they wire together and the more you practice them, they're going to fire together. So this is why this podcast is called Practice. This is why confidence is a psychological mindset that you can develop. Because once you practice and once you get in the reps, you can get better at it. But if you have a fixed mindset, you're not going to believe that you can grow and get better in this area. But if you have a growth mindset and you're focused on saying, I could be the best me, I want to be the best me, and tomorrow I can be better than I was today, oh my gosh. Like, if I'm this good today, boy, imagine how good I could be tomorrow. If I'm this good today, imagine how good I'm about to be in 3 months. Ooh, this thought process fueled who I am. This thought process made me the person I am today, and I still am like, dog, if I'm this good right now, just wait until the end of this year. This is why I want you to hold on to this, is because I promise you, if you hold on to knowing that you can change your life in a matter of 2 weeks and 3 months, by the time you get to the end of the year, you're gonna be like, yo, I don't even remember, bruh. I don't remember, sis. Like, I'm a totally different person. Because your brain, this is the amazing thing about being a human. Your brain has the ability to be different. Your brain has the ability to grow. Your brain has the ability to say, okay, cool. How do we be different? How do we level up? And you cannot get out of it, or you can't make it happen without consistency, y'all. Like, you can't make it happen unless you're intentional about the areas that you want to grow in. So you have to set your mind. You have to have a mindset that says, I'm going to be dedicated. I'm going to choose. I'm going to persevere. I'm going to double down regardless. And what that does is it develops a term called mental fortitude. Okay? Fortitude is basically the courage in the midst of adversity. The courage in the midst of adversity. So if you have mental fortitude, that means your mindset says, okay, boom, here's this adversity, opposition. Here's this opposition. I know that I can persevere through this situation. I'm going to throw another term at you. It's also called self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is a belief in me that I can do hard things. It's a belief that you have. And what are beliefs? We just talked about it. Beliefs are mindset. Beliefs are our attitudes, which is our mindset. So if everything is here. Everything is here. It's all here, y'all. Everything is here. This is why understanding your brain and understanding yourself is so important, because these are the keys, y'all. These are the keys. I got the keys. I'm trying to turn up in here because I need you to know that you do not have to stay the same. You do not have to, like, you don't, like, you can literally, in a lot of what I'm about to say too is specifically to those who have mental health privilege. I'll talk about that another day, but I want to be very clear. You don't have to stay in the rut. You don't have to stay in the way that you feel and think. You can change it. It's not going to be easy, and it shouldn't be. But that's the dopest thing about discipline, and it's not going to feel good in the moment. But when you are dedicated, when you are committed, when you're about that life, when you ride till the wheels fall off and you go get you some new ones, you look up and be like, oh boy. The reward of discipline outweighs anything that you could get in that moment. And this is why developing a mindset that's going to get you through, developing a mindset of fortitude, developing a mindset of confidence, a mindset of self-efficacy that says, man, I got this. The question is, do you believe in you? And if you don't believe in you, then that would say kind of that you have a fixed mindset. So we need to fix your mindset. What are you doing to fix your fixed mindset? Because if you don't develop a growth mindset, none of this stuff matters. It don't matter what you're trying to become. It don't matter what your purpose is. It don't matter if you have confidence. If the mindset, your mind drives you. It drives your life. So if your mind isn't set on being a specific way and you don't renew it every single day, it's not going to matter, y'all. So the moral of the story, y'all, is I need you to know that you have the ability to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And your mind dictates your life. Your mind dictates the ability for your dream to go from a dream to a reality. And your ability to be consistent in seeing it come through, because it's not if opposition hits, it's when it hits. And when it hits, I need you to be like, I got this. I need you to develop such psychological safety up here that you say, okay, cool. I've made my brain such a safe space that I'm willing to embrace difficult things. I've made my brain such a safe space that my relationship with failure was cool. My brain is so safe that my self-talk be having me like, ooh, I see you. That's what you need. That is all. The mindset is the basket that holds all the things, y'all. It holds all the things. But your mindset is something that has to be developed intentionally every single day by pouring into it, and by what you pour into it. It goes both ways. So you best believe we about to be having a whole lot of more conversations around mindset, because that's it. Confidence is a mindset. Hope is a mindset. Optimism is a mindset. Our values are mindsets, right? Being dedicated, being disciplined, being committed, being consistent, all those fun words, being responsible, being accountable. Those are all mindsets, right? That you choose to have because they're attitudes and their beliefs. So, I'm gonna be real with y'all. My energy only calmed down because my battery died and I had to put in a new battery. So I was like, let me hit them on a little lower tone. But on the real, the development of a mindset that gets you through is second to none. And so if there's anything that you invest in your mindset. The investment on your mindset, the ROI is exponential. The investment in your mindset, it's the investment in developing an unwavering mindset that is so convinced that you are supposed to be doing whatever it is you're doing. That you are supposed to get your health. You're supposed to get this healing. You're supposed to persevere. That right there. That's it, y'all. That's it. Okay. So let's dive into these skills and drills, y'all. Let's go. 3 things that are going to help you figure out or help you develop a healthy mindset. Number 1, figure out your relationship with fear. Figure out your relationship with failure. The reason why I say this is because if your mindset is more fixated on fear and failure, that most likely means you have a fixed mindset. So which is going to happen is it's going to prevent you from doing things because your mindset is fixed on the fear and the failure, right? And I've talked about this before, but it's so important that you're able to embrace fear and failure and have a great relationship with them so that way you can embrace and proceed. Number 2, ask yourself, does my work ethic align with my desires? Now, the reason why this question is important is because oftentimes we may be really talented at something and then not work for it, which falls back to the fixed mindset. Or we might know we're talented and we have a work ethic, which shows you have a growth mindset because you know the harder you work, the more dedicated you are, the disciplined you are, the more committed and consistent. That shows that you have more of a growth mindset. Lastly, number 3, talk and listen to yourself. So I want you to create space that you talk to yourself and listen to yourself. Because when you talk and you listen, you can hear, okay, boom. So I need you to talk, listen, and train yourself. Talk to yourself, listen to yourself, and train yourself. Because when you talk, you can hear what it is that you're saying, right? And you're listening, and then you can retrain those thoughts that you just heard. That's what I want you to hone in on. Okay, those are your 3 keys right now for developing a healthy mindset. I want few things more for you than for you to develop a mindset that allows you to endure. For you to develop a mindset of fortitude. For you to leverage the marathon mindset. For you to tap into the Mamba mentality. For you to say, okay, I'm going to grow in this way. I'm going to focus on my mindset. I'm going to focus on my beliefs, my thoughts, my attitudes towards myself and others. But really towards yourself, because that's going to impact how it comes out to other people. And so I hope that you found this episode beneficial. I hope that you are now going to assess yourself and figure out, do I have a fixed or growth mindset? And what do I need to do about it? And how do I pursue? How do I continue to embrace all of this? How do I develop a mindset? And you really hone in on these skills and drills. And then I hope that you come back next week. I also hope that you like and subscribe and all that other fun stuff. But just do know that I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate you for tapping in. And I hope that you came to practice and got better today. This is Practice the Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Rees. Until next time, peace.